Hello everybody, Glitch Reaper here. Time for another mob battle, and this one will be another one with Barako. Only it'll be particularly interesting. It's been a while since I've had him go up against something ice and fire, and I've been kind of pondering the idea of doing a few more large groups and seeing how it works out. So I'm thinking of having darn lips. I'm thinking of having him go up against a flock of Stymphalian birds. Stymphalian birds? Stymphalian birds. Okay, lips. I had to show you the word this time. Stymphalian birds. Anyhow, I think a flock of about 12 should be particularly interesting. They are very aggressive, so uh, the thing is that they might not target him initially, but whenever one of them is injured and there's others nearby, they will give out an attack call, similar to like injured zombies or zombie pigmen or things like that. So he will definitely be having a lot of support from the Stymphalian birds aimed right at him. So it will be a very angry flock. And I do think about a dozen ought to be interesting. So let's see how far a dozen can work, because they do have aerial projectiles, and he's got all sorts of attacks. I mean, let's face it, this guy's the new king, darn lips again, the new king of beam. So, yeah, let's just see if they can wind up. Wow, that one actually, no. That's my problem with the Stymphalian birds. You see, they have the habit of flying away. Sometimes I can get one to stay long enough to tag it, sometimes not, but either way, I probably should tag him first. Okay, let's see if I can get one to be just right there where I want it. Below me, and nope, that one ran off. Again, I think I need to be closer and in hover mode. Like, aha, that kind of worked. Okay, now I tag more in. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They didn't all start on them, but some of them do back off and then start using their attacks. Oh, he fried a lot of them there. But man, those feathers. He's taking a lot of damage. Up, Sun Spear. Okay, that's it. Time to burn. Okay, there's one over. Beam over. Wow, he must have nailed one that was pretty far off. They got him down to about 70 or so before he cleared them out and started regening. Like, how big of a flock would it take to take down Barako? Because he actually is very powerful compared to a lot of creatures out there. So after he got his, like, buff, oh gosh, that definitely made him even more interesting, and I already really liked his fighting style, so congrats, Mowzie. You made him even more awesome. I'm not sure by what percentage, I'd have to think about that, but definitely more awesome. And remember, whenever you defeat them, they will give you iron and copper or bronze if you've got mods that have copper and bronze. So, but they don't drop it in and of themselves if you do not. So that's kind of a bonus integration thing. But that was a flock of 12, and they just all got cooked like turkeys. Now, he is really good at crowd control, and he has some of his own crowd, although I don't think they factored in that much. Did I get one? No, I did not get a leftover mass this time. Sometimes they will take down some of the minions along the way. So I'm going to prep this again, and this time I'm going to go even bigger. Because I'm curious if an even bigger flock, like maybe one twice the size, can actually take them down. Because I don't think you get above 12 Stymphalian birds in the wild. It would be a very rare occurrence for that many to flock together and attack you. But I'm just curious, how many would it take to deal with Barako, because he is just that awesome. Okay, so I have to get him tagged onto one and then count as much as possible. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. There, twice the size of the flock. And most of them just got annihilated at once. Well, look at all that. He is surrounded. But he just... He did go down. He did go down. 24 was in fact too much. There wasn't very many surviving Stymphalian birds out of that. Okay, there was actually a considerable amount. So maybe somewhere in the middle is where they can take them down. Because they did get them down to 70 that time that there was a dozen of them. So theoretically, let's try just 50% more than a dozen. Let's go with 18. 50% more than a dozen. And because I'm curious, at what point does it become critical mass? Because let's face it, that was a lot of birds. That apparently is the point of overdoing it officially. So, yeah. So somewhere between point A and point B is where I'd like to know how many Stymphalian birds does it take to beat Barako. The answer is a large amount of them, admittedly. Like, way more than you're ever going to see aimed at your face. But definitely an impressive number. So I'll click you. And again, I don't have to use the multi thing, and it would actually be very tricky to actually do in this circumstance. Because I'd have to have a whole lot of them where I could tag them and then aim them at them, or something like that, but yeah. Okay, but if I can tag one and then toss it... Also, I'm not sure my numbers were exact there, because some of them were getting, like, negated as to their encounters, because some of them would get in front of the other or not come in time. I think I made up for that on the spot, but I'm not 100% sure. So, we'll see about that. Okay. That one almost was right. It seems to work better whenever I'm aiming down and above them just slightly. Okay. No, not quite. And then once I get one that I got them targeting, I can do a lot better than that. But almost. Maybe a little bit lower. Yeah, it flew right past my face. There we go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There we go. That should be a good point. Ooh, wow. He really can do crowd control. Beamed those out. Okay, he's smacking them out now. He is low, but he still has attacks left. Ooh. Okay, I'd estimate that was pretty close to the point, because I know that 24 was a bit much. Maybe we could try just a bit more. Maybe 20 of them. Maybe 20 of them. Yeah, you're doing some work, Barako. You're really doing some work. They did get you down pretty close that time, but you still got them that time. Now, whenever I had 24 of them, that was definitely much. There's just a random one over there. I'm pretty sure that's not one of mine, but I'm not entirely sure. Then again, maybe he's coming to avenge the others. I've also noted that they're kind of attracted to this particular structure for reasons unknown. Does it have to do with what's on top? Because this is from the Farlands, or Farlanders, I should say, and there's an Ender Golem. I don't know if they're trying to challenge that and just not flying far enough. But they seem to be attracted to this structure for... I don't know why. It's just... I think that's why, but I don't know. I mean, they could just be attracted to structures in general, and thus be trying to seek out villages to destroy, but I'm not entirely sure. Well, Barako, I'm going to give you another 20. If you can beat that, then that's cool. And I'll say that some margin in there is where you give out, because you will be definitely close. Like, this would be a close call if it even works. If not, we'll know that about 20 is your limit. But Stymphalian birds are, admittedly, always found in a flock. Or usually. Can't believe that one was that quick to get in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I got the 20th in. Oh, right into the solar bomb is whenever I saw him. I don't know if resetting distance helps them or harms them, because then they can all kind of surround and shoot. But then you can also use that technique again pretty quickly. They're all on fire. Oh! Oh! There's no way it could balance out better. Both sides just eradicated each other. Like, with their last shots, they took down Barako, but he was in the middle of an attack while they were already burning, and took them out. That was the perfect moment of tie. I found it. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. It's hard to get a perfect tie. I have gotten it to work out sometimes, but it doesn't come out often. So that is literally exactly how many Stymphalian birds it takes to take down Barako. Apparently the answer is 20, where they equal out perfectly and just take each other out. Admittedly, he has some awesome attacks, and they certainly know how to spray things down with their metal feathers. So they definitely look painful. Very painful. I have, in fact, dealt with them before in survival, and I usually had some kind of very roasty way of getting rid of them. So I haven't had too much issues with them darn lips, in survival, but I have seen people that have. I've seen people just get, well, pin-cushioned, to say the least. So, yeah, they can be pretty nasty. And Barako can roast them pretty well. And I found the point at which number of Stymphalian birds equals Barako's fiery powers. So, power of the sun versus the power of annoying metal birds. And we now know what point that is. Apparently it's 1 Barako to 20 Stymphalian birds. That's an impressive number, so... And because they're so, like Skyborn aggressive, I might have them fight other things and see just how nasty they really are. But even just individually, like just having 1 Stymphalian bird versus something else and seeing if it can take it down. Like, maybe a little spontaneous here. Just kind of a random thing to do. I know they're very aggressive, so they might actually just straight up attack a few things. So let's see if they're willing to attack a witch and an evoker. Because, you know, they're going to be considered like classic elites now in vanilla. So let's just see how this works out. Witch versus Stymphalian bird. If I can get them to attack each other. That admittedly is going to be a bit of an issue. Because this is kind of spontaneous since this was a little fast, even with 20 Stymphalian birds. Like, Barako fights are probably going to usually be pretty short, usually. Because he fights fast and furious and fiery. Fast, furious, and fiery. Say that 5 times quickly. Say that 5 times in a frenzy. Where do they all want to go so quickly? I've noticed that they seem to be going somewhere. Like they're going away. To somewhere. Wait. There's one down there that... it moved. You can see my problems. Okay, so spontaneous might not be quite perfect, but you get the point. At least I'm trying. Okay, you will be occupied in a brief instant. Oh, perfect. Wow, they actually will melee if they're close enough. He's actually trying to peck. I didn't think they'd do that. Do they do that specifically for... Well, I have seen them do that to a villager before. This isn't the result I thought I'd be getting. To be fair, I think the witch is winning. So individually, they are probably weaker than a witch. But they're still pretty far up there because, I mean, they have a pretty furious ranged attack. This one's just not demonstrating it right now. Oh, now it's finally starting to shoot. Just throw one potion of harming and you win. Thank you. Yeah, I know, the weird spontaneous test, just kind of demonstrating their power. But remember, witches also regenerate, so it might be tricky sometimes to get how far down they went. So let's go Evoker and hope I get lucky with another one here. Okay, so Evoker. Of course, I could also just go with Johnny at some point. That would be kind of funny. Had it go in the right direction, but no. Something tells me this is going to be a tie. Nope, it was not. It totally won. Okay, so Minecraft elites are sometimes stronger, or vanilla elites are often stronger than Stymphalian birds. Kind of surprising, because those things really like to shoot a lot. So I would have thought one of them would have had an issue. But no, they did not. I can certainly think that a shulker would probably take one down just because of the fact that they're invulnerable while they're in their shell to projectiles. So I really think the Stymphalian bird would have an issue. But I guess I should in fact test that. Just cause. But at least the demonstration against Barako went particularly well. But let's see here. Shulker. Hi. In fact, I could probably put this over your head, because you also count as a block. Kind of. Okay, that does not actually work. I am surprised. Because they... What? Is it actually trying already? I haven't even made you aggressive yet. Are you auto-aggressive towards shulkers? I did not know that. Guess if they ever actually hit, the shulker will fire back. Homing shots. Can it actually win against the shulker, I'm wondering. It's flying upward forcefully. The shulker is losing out pretty quickly, so maybe my original estimate was totally not right. The shulker does fire slower, like a lot slower. So yeah, the shulker got shulked. Or, shulker got shot. So, okay. Definitely, that was interesting, and that was spontaneous testing, so that got me surprised. Okay. So they can defeat shulkers, but they can't defeat witches or evokers on a one-on-one basis. And in terms of how many of them it takes to take down someone stronger like Barako, that was intense because it was like 20 on him before they equaled out. So that's some interesting things to go on. I might try some other stuff with them eventually too. But this has been particularly cool. So, yeah. So I'll be logging off for now, but this gives me some stuff to think about in their flocking behavior, their frenzy of shots, and just how much they compare to Mr. Barako there. And a few other spontaneous tests, so it's gone particularly well and interesting, I'd say. So I'll be logging off for now. Hope to hear from y'all later. Bye for now, and remember, there will be more mob battles.